let's begin. Game number 1, we have Liverpool versus Everton. The Merseyside derby is kicking us off as an early kickoff. So the Merseyside derby, I'm going to go with a Liverpool win. Even though I know Everton smoke weed before they come to play us, Liverpool, but I'm still going with a Liverpool win. I know it's going to be a very narrow win. I think it's actually going to be a 1-0 win. But the 3 points are the ones that are important. Pale, game number 1, Liverpool versus Everton. We go with a Liverpool win. And then game number 2, we have Brighton versus Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, I think Tottenham have shown a bit of weakness, so I'm going to go with a Brighton win. I think Brighton will be very strong at home. So Brighton versus Tottenham Hotspur, we're going with a Brighton win. And then we have another game, Burnley hosting Nottingham Forest. The last 2 games of Nottingham Forest have been wow, wow. Especially the recent one, they lost, yet they had started with a 2-0 lead and then they allowed the comeback to happen. So they are very shaky. But Burnley are very strong at home. I think the only loss they have this season, the entire season, all through the championship, their loss came not yesterday, their previous match against the champions Liverpool. But they decided not to play. They parked the bus. So as much as they tried to keep their home record intact, we ruined it. Liverpool ruined it with a 1-0 penalty win. But I think since they are very strong at home, I think they are going to hold the Nottingham Forest guys to a draw. So the match between Burnley and Nottingham Forest, we are going with a draw. And then another game, we have West Ham United hosting Crystal Palace. Well, West Ham United are, for lack of a better word, shite. And Palace, on the other hand, as much as they drew the last game, they are still very strong. So I'm going to go with an away win for Crystal Palace. And then another game, that is Wolves versus Leeds United. Wolves are just like their fellow team. We have a West Ham team that is almost like the Wolves team. So we are going to go with a Leeds United win. Yes, I know it's surprising, but we are going to give the Leeds United a second win of the season because Wolves are very, very terrible. And then we have the game that is big in this weekend, the second biggest game of the weekend. We have Mama Esther hosting Chelsea. The way Manchester played against City, we all expect Chelsea to walk over them. So as much as I would like to see United win, I'm going to go with a Chelsea win. And then we have another game between Fulham versus Brentford. This is one of those matches that just screams a draw. So Fulham versus Brentford, I'm going to give a draw. Basically because the both teams look like they are evenly matched. So game number, whichever the number of the game, Fulham versus Brentford, we go with a draw. Another game, we have Bournemouth hosting Newcastle United. A Bournemouth team that has been flying in form, and a Newcastle team that is just picking up its pieces after losing one of their best strikers or players. So these games almost tends to go either way or a draw in short. But I'm going to give the away boys to take all the 3 points. So Bournemouth versus Newcastle. Surprise, surprise, I'm giving Newcastle the win. And then we have another game, Sunderland versus Aston Villa. Something needs to be done in this Aston Villa team because they are very bad at the moment. Sunderland, however, have shown signs of being a good team. So Sunderland versus Aston Villa, surprise, surprise again, I'm going to go with a Sunderland win. And then the last game of the weekend, the biggest game of the weekend, Arsenal hosting City. Just last season, Arteta showed that he can actually go ahead and want to take all the 3 points from Pep. They smashed the City team last weekend. But then again, who didn't? So yeah, as much as everyone is looking forward for an Arsenal win this weekend, literally every booker, every bettor is looking for an Arsenal win. But we all know Arteta, he might sometimes shock us with his fear of Pep and set up in such a way that he set up against Liverpool. So surprise, surprise, I'm going to give the Pep's boys the win. I'm going to give Manchester City to win. Yes, I know it's fueled by a hint of hate, but still, I hate both teams. So the bigger hatred is landing on Arsenal. So we're going to be good with the City win. So yes, those are my Game Week 5 Premier League predictions.